Hey, guess what? We're live. We are live. Live on the SideQuest on a beautiful, beautiful Friday night here in the magical land of the internet. I am Dali Domovsky. Joining me as usual, the one, the only Aaron Scratty Bones, Twitch affiliate, the man. I don't know. I can't think of any more right now. The bandanaed one, Kelly.
Finally warm enough to not wear a wool hat, so I'm wearing a bandana.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And then Sam, Mr. Rossetti Dixon.
Hello, friends. It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been like 2 weeks. It's crazy. Oh, 2 or 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Aaron and I have been pulling our weight over the last couple weeks since you've been gone. So.
they've been riveting shows.
Riveting shows.
We've been banging out an hour every week.
We had Jeff Grubb on a couple weeks ago. He spilled the beans on a bunch of other shit that came true, and that was good. Good times. Hey, how you guys doing? You guys doing good? I missed you guys. We all missed you guys.
Neither of us are saying anything in response to that. Don't read into it. Just keep moving on. No, I've been good. I've been okay.
Good.
I've been living La Vida Locus.
Living La Vida Locus. That's good. Okay, Sam, how have you been with these last couple weeks?
All right, just trying to survive in these trying times.
Trying to survive in these trying times. You're working from home, and Aaron is not. Aaron's the man right now.
Man, so
tired, right? Still tired, right?
You want to talk about some shit? So
let's talk about some shit.
So my store is located in a strip mall, right? It's when everything's open. I think it's 5 different stores. So there's my store on the very end, and then the same guy who owns my store owns the vape store, like the nicotine vaporizer store, which is the next one in. The one after that is a hair salon, which has been closed since all this quarantine shit started. They were one of the first places closed. One of the hairdressers came into our stores today, and she was like, "You got to see this shit." She's got a 3-page document that the government gave out for what they have to do to reopen. Oh, and it's full of shit like anytime anybody comes in your store, and then even if they leave, like if they come in to make an appointment and then they leave, that you have to wipe everything down. If they're getting their hair cut, they have to wear a mask. If you're cutting hair, you have to wear like one of those like
shields.
Like the face shield, like the full face shield that like surgeons doing like like wear and shit like that.
Bone saw work.
Yeah, totally. And then the craziest one was if anybody at any point in your store coughs or sneezes, everybody has to leave the store, and you have to call this specific number to send somebody down to clean it.
Wow. Yeah.
So the hair stylists are like, we're just gonna stay closed and keep getting that free government money.
A lot of a lot of folks are doing that. Crazy enough.
Meanwhile, my store's just trucking on. I had 2 wasps in my store today. That's how you know it's summer.
They're murder wasps.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're awake and they're pissed.
Canadian murder wasps. I don't know if I've heard about those before.
Yeah.
Didn't they originate in Canada, like off one of the islands? Off of Vancouver or something, off of BC somewhere.
That sounds vaguely familiar. Mm-hmm. They suck.
Mm-hmm.
I have a like an aerosolized spray that I can like it shoots like 100 feet of liquid death. So I just am flying around the store, and I'm just like.
Wait, are there legitimately like deadlier bee/wasp in Canada than like over here in the US?
Well, I don't know, because America's got like the what are they called, like the Africanized
killer bees, whatever they're called. Yeah.
Like you got that shit, and they're like super aggressive. We've got some kind, and they might be an offshoot of that. I don't think there's anything worse than what America has up here. They're just assholes.
Oh, okay. Because I know, I mean, recently in the news, we've been hearing about those Japanese like killer hornets or whatever that are like the size of a fist or whatever, coming and murder everything.
Yeah, you got those in the States now, don't you?
Yeah, sure. They started off by you over in one of the off of BC, but yeah, we got those now. They're great. They're
I know if I see one of those on my property, I'm burning it to the ground and then finding a new place to live. So.
Do it. Excellent. Well, we're not going to talk much more about bees and wasps at the moment. We could talk about games though, because maybe we've been playing stuff. I don't know if we've been playing stuff. Let's talk to you, Sam, first.
Sam,
it's been a while, Mr. Rossetti, since we've had you on a couple weeks now. So, what have you been playing?
Yeah, I mean, not to retread old ground, but of course, Animal Crossing has been.
Oh, is it a new game? I've never heard
still
of that.
The number one. In fact, friend of the show, Gan, Ryan
Friend
Gan,
of the show.
Villain of the show, maybe is probably the better descriptor. Was just visiting my island, and apparently I did a little Jesus moment and walked on some water while he was there.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, I mean, sometimes the server stability of that stuff isn't the strongest, and you'll warp through something, or like you'll go through a door one way while somebody's going through a door the another way, and you just phase through each other. So nonsense like that happens.
I do have to come by your island. By the way, thank you for the wizard's hat. That's awesome.
Yes, I mean,
I got something to send you.
Yeah, you mentioned that your daughter wanted one the last time I visited your island, so I'm like, I can expenditure that, but you didn't. You refused to add me as a best friend for like a week.
I didn't even notice it, so I'm like, oh shit.
I gotta just quickly jump in here. Are you guys talking about a sports team or like a Merlin hat?
Oh, like a straight up wizard. Like,
okay.
It's a witch's hat because there's technically like a what's that Disney where Mickey's a magician?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Fantasia.
Fantasia. There's technically like a Fantasia ass wizard's hat that you can get, but these are like witches hats, and there's a couple of different flavors of them. But I was wearing the white one when I showed up, so I figured that's the one I'd send to you.
Just wait until, I mean, you mentioned the Disney-esque Fantasia hat, but just wait until the brand stuff eventually starts showing up in Animal Crossing, because it will. They're going to start doing branded gear for like Nintendo games, and then
they had those Mercedes-Benz cars that you could download for Mario Kart. If I can get like a Mercedes-Benz Roadster to just hang outside of my Animal Crossing
house. They have those in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or is it just Mario Kart 8 that they have?
I think they're in Deluxe too. I'm pretty sure I've driven with one or two of those.
Nice.
I know they at least have the Roadster. I don't know if they have like the SUV and normal like town car. Yeah, that they were trying to sell at the same time.
That's too funny. So Animal Crossing. All right. How did you get? You got Tom Nook. Not Tom Nook. You got KK Slider to show up. So that's good.
Yes. Yeah.
You've been terraforming much?
Not really. I've been trying to do like a layout where it's a lot of not moving people's houses and not really moving stuff that I already have. Just kind of if something I can make something a little bit symmetrical, or just kind of make it look a little bit more natural by like digging something up and changing it just a smidge. I've been doing that, but I've been trying to stick to like, this is the way my river flowed through town, so it's going to stay that way. And who knows, because there's always the rumors that we're going to get like way more businesses and maybe a couple more shops and stuff to sort of fill out these sort of more permanent island stays. So
the last one is for those things to just like destroy one of your spots, right?
Yeah. So I've been like kind of building, and I've actually been slacking. I basically started playing for a while. I was like, okay, all I need is money. I just want to pay off my loans, get everything squared away. And I did all that, and then I was like, all right, I need to like majorly overhaul my island. And then I just haven't done any of that. So I've been sitting at like a 4-star island, and I know I could push it to 5. I've just been incredibly too lazy to actually do it.
I think I'm at a 3-star myself.
How many of them tier 1 villagers you got?
I have Julian, who we were talking about, who has all of the sort of celestial stuff that Celeste will give you. I believe he is considered to be one of the top tier island people. And I also have Bob, who is everybody's favorite Animal Crossing smug cat. Who is either like I truly think that he's like a trust fund baby who just rips a bong every morning and like comes and hangs out, because he'll like tonight I talked to him, he's like, I don't like when it's dark outside, I get scared. I'm like, okay, all right, Bob. And then like his entire house is just like a children's house. It's filled with like toys, and he has like a bounce castle floor and stuff. So I've gotten a giant panda bear and set it outside of his house, and got him one of those springy horses that are at like children's parks, and put it outside. He has his own little sandbox in his backyard. It's
nice.
I want you to know that as of this week, Julian is out of tier 1 and down in tier 2.
I see that. Yeah. But my daughter got Raymond, which everybody seems to want Raymond in there.
Yeah, I had a bird, Robin, who I hated because she was just smug as shit, to move out. And I spent probably the better part of 2 or 3 hours one day, like trying to replace him. replace her, and I finally gave up, and I was like, I'm just gonna go with whatever the game gives me. And of course, the game gives me Angus, one of the ugliest pieces of shit characters in the whole game. So I'm
Angus.
right now trying to get rid of Angus and replace him with somebody better.
You just keep smacking them with the net and hoping they'll leave.
I didn't talk to him for like 3 days straight when he moved in. And like the first day he was like, oh, hey, Sam, remember when we talked? Like, I'm finally all moved in. I was like, we didn't talk, Angus. This will be the last time.
It's like, I feel part of me, like whenever I come across a villager that I don't want, I mean, you're supposed to hit them with the net, but then they say things like, hey, dude, that's really mean. Why you keep hitting me? And I feel bad. I don't know what it is. I'm like, crap, I feel horrible hitting these stupid villagers that really don't care and they don't carry any any feelings. Cause if they announce they're leaving, you can just say, don't leave. And they'll be like, oh, we're best friends again.
If you can walk like slowly beside them, and they'll just start looking over at you. And if you keep doing it, they'll eventually turn around and be like, it's not very nice to follow somebody. So you can do a lot of that stuff to piss them off too.
That's awesome. Have you watched any of the talk show, Gary Whitta's talk show?
No, I've been seeing that stuff. I've been seeing a lot of like Rooster Teeth has been doing stuff where they'll two of their cast members have gone to other people's islands, have been rating them based on like different guides and stuff. And
Achievement Hunter's been doing those, yeah.
I've been watching some of that stuff, and that stuff's been fun. It's just interesting that like it feels like no one's coming up with like super creative content in Animal Crossing. They're all just kind of using it as like a social space and just the sort of like dumb interactions that actually are like making for pretty good content.
I think the coolest thing that I saw was the Deal or No Deal, the game show where they had all the boxes with the money, the suitcases with the money. I thought that was actually pretty cool. Did you guys see that one? That one was pretty neat. But
no, I'm not sure I saw that one.
Yeah, that was cool. I keep I'm in kind of the same zone as you. I want to pay off. I think I finally paid off my house. I got all the levels there, and decided I'm gonna start working on this island. So what if I do my island like designed like Zelda 3, right? Or Link to the Past. What if I do it like Hyrule? So I started mapping it out. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make it like Hyrule. But also, what if I did it like Super Mario World? But also, what if I actually made like Jurassic Park within my island? But also, what if I actually themed it like Westworld? And then after that, I'm like, okay, I have no idea what to do because my mind changes so fast. It feels like far too much work and too permanent to have, to decide on one island. So I don't know. I don't know what my theme's going to be eventually.
Yeah, I have a section of mine that's like sort of like cordoned off that's like supposed to be like a gym, like from the place I work at, which is all nice and dandy, but then we also have like a pool and like a basketball court. So I've been trying to figure out like how to relay that out, and I basically have just abandoned the idea of like replicating what my workplace actually looks like, and I'm just going to make it look cooler. Except for I can install video boards that barely work sometimes. So if I could figure that out, I'd be golden. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's still like me and my partner try to play for like basically an hour a day together. Well, now we both have all the fossils now, so we're just selling all that stuff. But we'll check each other's inventories and visit and try to take a photo and whatnot, and just try to have fun that way.
Have you been to Corey's Island?
I was only to Corey's Island the one time we both were.
Okay.
And what's interesting is people, whenever you visit somebody's island and they're specifically talking about buying and selling turnips, they always close off everything from town, but just to get to their shop. And I
did that.
I just I don't understand why. Like,
I think the reason is you want to get the most people in there. Because when I that one time opened up my island, I had like 430, whatever the number was. I had a lot of people messaging me, and I thought, well, crap, if people are just walking around my island, then that puts a hold on who can show up. So
do you get a cut?
No, people just tip.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've been doing is I'll leave like 50,000 bells or so on my way out, which I mean seems like chump change after you're like, oh, here's like 2 million bells for all those turnips. You're like, cool, and it's like, here's 50,000 I scrapped together for the trip over.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So anything else you've been playing besides the crossing? Besides floating on water over the crossing?
Yeah. I mean, a little bit. I've been trying to clean out. Really, what it was that triggered this was I tried to download an update for Call of Duty Modern Warfare because
Good luck, dude.
we've been hopping in there and playing a couple of rounds of BR here and there, and they've been doing those free weeks where or those free weekends where if you don't own Modern Warfare, you can still kind of play some of the multiplayer with it. So we've been hopping on with our group and doing that. But PlayStation and Sony has had this issue for a while. But then I really didn't think about how bad it was until Call of Duty asked for an update yesterday, where I had 78 gigs free on my hard drive. But because that game is like 110 gigs, you have to have double the amount of the full game to download and install an update. So I basically had to delete another 70 gig game just so I could have enough to download like a 10 gig update. That is ridiculous. And I am so that is the number one thing I'm so excited for next gen consoles at this point is that hopefully they figured that shit out. Because if that's the thing, I'm going to sell that PS5 right on back if it makes me do that again. But because of that, I've been kind of going through and seeing stuff that I need to finish. I had downloaded, because my brother bought it, I had downloaded, that Star Wars Jedi game, and I just never played it. So I got through the tutorial of that, and that seems okay. That seems like Dark Souls with lightsabers. I can get behind that. And then I also played Vanquish, that old Capcom, or not Capcom, Platinum, right? Shooter.
Oh, is that the robot one?
Yes, yeah. Because everybody talks a lot, talks a pretty big praise of it. I don't like that game. I don't think that game plays very well. I think it was a free Xbox game before, like a PlayStation Gold, Xbox Gold game at some point, which is why I have it. And I do not enjoy that. And maybe it's just we've moved past that at this point, but I just couldn't get behind it. I even played an extra level than what I thought I was going to play because I was like, well, maybe it gets more exciting. Maybe it's that sort of Platinum games like Bayonetta, ridiculous shit happens, and that's what makes that game cool. But I don't know. It was a lot of dude bros broing each other back and forth, and then like a lot of sliding on your knees. And I'm like, all right, like I get it. Like it's cool, I guess, but I can go back to playing Dark Souls with lightsabers. That was okay too.
Dude bros broing each other.
Yep, on the knees.
I think I gotta write that. That's the title of our episode. Dude bros broing each other.
I have an
announcement.
announcement.
Get the E3 hype train episode.
You have an announcement to make? Have you been broing some dudes?
No, but I did draw Sonic the Hedgehog.
Nice.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, I drew that from memory.
I bet you Tom would wear that on a pair of shoes.
We'll never know because he's never on the show.
Oh, shit.
I can't make the offer.
We'll have to get him back on. All right. I'd say I haven't played that game, though, Sam, so... Never played it.
Yeah, I was hoping somebody could explain to me why it was so good, because that's going to be a big miss for me, I think.
Aaron, what have you been playing, dude? Besides the yawn game, besides trying to stay awake?
I've been playing Civ 5.
Okay.
Civ 5
5. Wow, not 6.
No, God, no. What am I talking about? Civ 6.
I was going to say, let me tell you that you can get Civ 6 for free.
For free, right? Is that what you got it? Yeah.
No. I've had Civ 6 since it came out, and I always go back to it whenever a new piece of DLC comes out, and they just released like a minor piece of... They released like a battle pass, basically. Like, pay us full price for the game now, and you'll get this tiny piece of content, and then in 2 months you'll get another tiny piece of content, and we're doing this all the way through. And I was like, well,
fine.
I mean, I guess. So I've just been playing that, and nothing really to say there. Like, it's fine. The two actual expansions that came before it are way more interesting, sort of. But no, just playing a little of that. Just gonna check my list here, and yeah, that is free on Epic right now.
Nice. Yeah, I picked that up too. Epic's killing it with the free. Epic's free games are better than what PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live give you. That's for sure.
Yeah.
GTA 5, I never owned it. And now I do. And now Civ 6, which I almost bought for the Switch, but I don't have to.
Remember last week we were talking about like what their numbers would be like after giving away GTA 5? So I have a headline here that's not really it's not really news. I just pulled it up because we were talking about it. Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold 130 million copies before that giveaway.
That's insane. Tons of people joined Epic, joined the Epic Game Store because of that too, which is crazy. And you have to get the two-factor authentication to get it. So,
well, and yet another one of those times where anybody who just wanted to play any other normal game on the Epic Game Store wasn't able to because they just crashed their servers trying to get GTA.
So cool. Yeah, so I picked that up too. I haven't played it yet. Who knows when I will? I'm sure I'll do it eventually.
Oh, the one. So I think I've mentioned it in my reviews before. I don't listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the time, like if I'm playing a game or especially if I'm reviewing a game, like I have to make a conscious effort to listen to the music. So I have like some sort of input on it. But if I'm just playing a game for fun, I kind of tuned it out. So I was like 6 or 7 hours into a match of 6 with not the new DLC. I was playing as they added one of the Canadian prime ministers, so I was playing as that guy.
That's funny. In
the last big DLC, I think, Rising or whatever it's called. So I'm playing. I'm like 5 hours in, 6 hours in. All of a sudden, something catches my ear. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's that? And I'm like, oh, it's the music. And so I go into the options and I turn the music up. They have added a bunch of like maritime folk songs instrumental to that game. And then like a really like folky like rendition of the national anthem.
What?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I cranked the volume and I'm like, I think I recognize the song.
I think
start humming around it. I'm like, motherfucker, this is Farewell to Nova Scotia. How do they even know what this song is? But
that's hilarious. Maybe it's all location based. Oh,
that'd be pretty crazy.
They got you. But, you play anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. I've got my eye on a game that just entered early access called Space Haven.
Okay.
It's like a base building strategy game, like a little bit RimWorld, a little bit I don't know, maybe Dwarf Fortress, something along those lines. But like on a spaceship, and I get the concept is you have to build out this spaceship and get air in there and grow food and survive, basically. One of those.
Very
cool. I want to play it, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. Maybe next week. Yeah, you're good at you find these incredible little gems on there's some of them are indie based, a lot of them are indie based, but they're you want to know how I do it?
Yeah.
I jump on Steam and I go like once a month I go to like the popular upcoming tab, and then from there's a button that says like upcoming releases. And then I just look through all of those and then just wish list them. And then as they come out in early access, I get an email because I have them on my wish list. So
that's like how when I used to be big into just trying to keep up to date with everything on the app stores for, iPhone and Google app stores.
That's a fool's errand.
Yeah. So I just go up there and I download everything that's in the top 50. I'm like, I'm going to get in all these social networks and all these stupid things and download the top 50 free apps, and next thing you know, your phone is just over encumbered and you're being tracked like crazy. Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, that you said that's early access or coming out of early access?
Yeah, that just came out like literally today, I think. So
okay. Give that a shot. Cool. Yeah, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on that guy. Interesting. Anything else?
No, it's just Civ.
You've been working like crazy though. That's good.
I did the numbers up today. There's however many days left in the month, like 9 days or something like that. And I think we've already broken our store's record for like
that's insane
for like earnings. Like this is the best month we've ever had. I'm pretty sure.
We might talk about sales records for games as well. I don't know if you have that loaded up.
Probably not.
We can chat about that. Being honest, that's fine. That's right. I have a tab open with information in there.
Good.
Let's see. What have I been playing? I haven't really been doing too much Animal Crossing this week. I just kind of bought turnips and sold turnips, and that was basically it there. And then let's see here. I played. I'm again still trying to go through some of my backlogs. I won't go through some of those older games, but I did play. I spoke about. Let's see. Elder Scrolls Blades last week, which I mentioned is a it's just a honk of, just a piece of shit. Sorry, it's a piece of shit game. Don't download it. That is my expert opinion. That is a piece of shit game. Tetris 99. I went back to that last week. So good still.
Did you play for that Animal Crossing?
Yeah, the Animal Crossing thing.
Yeah, I played a little bit of that too, to be honest. Hey, I got 7th on my first go.
Nice.
And I was like, hell yeah, maybe I'm better at Tetris. I didn't crack the top 20 again the entire time I was playing, probably.
Yep, that sounds about right for me. Let's see. I played a little bit of Mortal Kombat 11. I figure with the new DLC coming out, I'm gonna hop into that. So played that, and then I have the collection of mana, so I'm playing the Final Fantasy Adventure game, which was the Game Boy game, the kind of the original. Was it Seiken Dentetsu? I can't remember the name. But the original in the series, and that's a Game Boy game. So there's a lot of repetition in those games, but surprisingly, there's enough in there to kind of keep me going a little bit. I guess it's kind of like the original Legend of Zelda with a little bit more RPG built into it. Definitely more character and some narrative. But man, is the writing? They did not know how to write games like story, plot, character, conversations back in the late 80s, early 90s. That is atrocious. But I mean, you understand what's going on, but just not great. Anyways, I'm playing that.
They tell us it's more coherent in the original language, but nobody can prove that.
Exactly. Nobody can prove it. Nope. And then I started playing Secret of Mana on there as well, because I figured I'm going to get through these games. They're not more than like 20 hours. I think the original one, Final Fantasy Adventure, is like 5 or 6 hours at most, and Secret of Mana is like maybe 20 if most. And then Trials of Mana, they have the original version on there. And I'm just kind of playing those a little bit here and there. It's fun to just kind of go back to some of these older games. And then just started playing Darksiders Genesis, which I'll talk more about next week. I bought the game for I think GameStop had it for like 18 or 19 bucks or something for the Switch. So picked that up and played maybe about an hour of it. I'm really kind of digging it. So it's the Diablo-esque version of the Darksiders series that came out on, I think, PC last year, and then consoles and stuff. Some of the consoles this year, I don't know, whatever it was, but came out for everything last year. Maybe I don't know. I like it. It's pretty dope so far. Yeah, that's basically it. Just some mobile games here and nothing special. It's been a fucking hell of a week, man. I'm telling you. As much as I complained last week about how busy things are, this week was even worse. I am not liking. I used to love work from home. I'm getting close to saying fuck work from home, man. And it's because I'm way busier now because I have to make up for everybody else not adhering to the stupid 8 hours a day thing. Now my workday starts at like 7:15. Basically when I wake up, I'm checking emails because somebody's sending emails out from the night before that I have to follow up on. And then, Aaron, you and I talked about this. My meetings now, I'm getting calls and messages at like 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. Sometimes people ask me to do stuff because they were busy throughout the day taking care of house stuff. And they're only now starting to get to work from like 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. So of course I better be available to help them out. Hey, don't do that. It sucks for everybody.
Yep.
Just stick to your regular hours. I know it sucks right now, but
when I was a much younger man,
I
don't even remember which job I had, but I had a job where I was essentially a full-time worker, and then I was on call forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like if an employee just didn't show up or like call in sick randomly, like they'd call me up and be like, "Hey, we need you to work." It's like, I just got off a shift, man. I just walked in my door. What do you want? Now we need you to come back. And ever since then, I've developed the habit of like the second I walk in my door, phone turns off, turns back on before I have to head out the door. And then as soon as I'm out, like home the next day, phone turns off. So if anybody tries to fucking call me, nope.
I gotta do that. I gotta figure that out. Figure out how to do that. Unfortunately, my office is in the same spot as my streaming, and is like across from my kitchen. So everything is here. So I can't get away from it. So I know some people are used to it, but sorry, work from home. I mean, I like it, to be honest. I'm very fortunate enough that I can do it. and still be completely capable. It's just that my day is now completely wrecked. I'm not enjoying my day anymore. Work from home works, but it's not fun. Anyways, I don't get a chance to game much anymore because of that. These last 2 weeks have been crazy busy as we're meeting deadlines. So bear with me. I do have a couple reviews coming in that I've, for some stupid reason, signed up for on some games. So I'll once I get a chance to play those games, I'll start talking about them. But yeah, good stuff. Anyways, let's get on to some news. News.
There is some news.
There's a few things.
There's one or two things. First one up. Apparently, Microsoft's Game Pass is 5 times as popular as PlayStation Plus.
And it launched later, right?
Way later. PlayStation Plus happened on like PS3, I think.
Is it PlayStation Plus or PlayStation Now?
I think it's PlayStation Plus, isn't it?
I thought it was PlayStation Now.
I'm double checking right now. It is PlayStation Now. It's not PlayStation Plus.
Aha!
PlayStation Now is the one that nobody pays for.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's way better shit on Xbox
in
terms of like third-party games that you can just get your hands on. They put all the shit on there.
Everything on Xbox. I mean,
come on, Sony.
To catch up, there's nothing. There is nothing.
I was right about the console though. It did launch on the PlayStation 3.
Oh wow! Okay,
yeah, it launched in 2014 on the PlayStation.
Oh, you're
3.
right. Okay, now I remember it because it was on there as well. That's right.
Yep. Wow. But yeah, so like, I mean, easy enough to figure it out. Sony just put all of the games on it. I mean, that's a way to win. Hey, you guys remember Artifact?
Oh yeah, do we ever?
You can sign up for that Artifact Beta 2.0, or if you're as big of an Artifact fan as everybody I know definitely is, you already own it, in which case you'll probably get an email from Valve saying, hey, get in on some Artifact. That's
cool.
news.
I saw some folks tweeting about it, but some folks didn't even remember signing up for it the first time.
Yeah, I only included that because we ragged the hell out of that game when it was happening, and we were watching it die in real time, week to week, which I thought was incredible.
It was. It's interesting seeing Valve crash and burn on something.
Yeah, and then just keep trying.
Yeah.
Well, it makes me wonder if like what are they going to do if Artifact 2.0 crashes and burns?
Oh, geez.
Like, could you imagine if like that is just as? I mean, I'm sure it won't be as bad as Artifact 1.0, but I don't have high hopes for that game. Anyway, what else I got? I already mentioned the Grand Theft Auto thing, 130 million units before the free copies given away.
Insane, absolute bonkers numbers.
Huge game. Almost as big as Minecraft, probably. I think
Minecraft is at 200
million. Yeah,
number 1, and then this is like number 2.
I don't. So there were a couple of weeks where I wasn't here. So I don't know if you guys mentioned this, but about a month ago, they added de novo anti-cheat to Doom Eternal multiplayer.
No, we did not talk about that.
So there's just like a thing they did, and everybody's reaction was basically, why for fucking Doom Eternal's multiplayer? Like who cares? It's been about a month, and they just announced that they are removing de novo anti-cheat from Doom Eternal's multiplayer.
No, we don't.
Because apparently it's been causing instability in the game. Like,
is there like a serious competitive side to that multiplayer? I know they're doing the, what is it, like 2 monster people versus 1 like Doomslayer, but it was there a big competitive scene around that multiplayer that they felt like they needed it?
No, like not really. It's not like it's an esport or like popular on Twitch or anything like that, but I mean it has a community, but popular? I don't think so. Anyway, yeah. So de novo lasted a month. Here's another one that's not really a news story. It was kind of a slow news week. Like if you're not in for like people announcing that they're doing like a Nintendo Direct style event or like sales numbers for everything, because it's sort of that time of the year. There's not really a lot of news. Here's something that I just thought was funny. Ian Walker from Kotaku has a news article up saying Tony Hawk's Pro Skater remasters will feature aged skaters. Because they're way older now. Tony Hawk's like almost 50.
Huh.
So I guess he'll be 50 in the game.
Hey, sorry, if you want a fun game, try to explain Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 to somebody who has never seen a Tony Hawk Pro Skater game before in their life, and why it's so important that these games are being remade and stuff like that. Like, it's insane. So wait, you're telling me that Tony Hawk, famous skateboarder, yes, has a video game, and everybody loves it. And it made ska popular for like 15 minutes. Yes,
that's why exactly that's why I included the story, because I thought, like, whenever there's like a game soundtrack, like, I think it goes like one of three ways. One, the game is like some sort of fantasy bullshit, so for a fact, like, there's no soundtrack playing, quote unquote, in the world. Two, it's some kind of a racing game or a vehicle game, so there's the idea that there's a radio in your vehicle, and so the music that you're listening to maybe playing on the radio or something like that. Or three, like a modern set game, so maybe it's like, if you try to imagine it, like, it's like walking down a busy city and like it's coming out of shops or whatever. And all I can picture are these, like, 50-year-old skaters in like the skate park in the Tony Hawk remaster, all jamming out to Goldfinger
and Suicide Machines.
And I'm just like I have that mental image in my head ever since I read that little news blurb. I'm just like, man, I hope they don't listen to ska anymore in real life. Like, I think they might be too old for ska.
I'm gonna let you know right now that I have gone to at least one Goldfinger show. And I will say that Tony Hawk Pro Skater is directly responsible for that particular version.
That was like the one song in Tony Hawk 1 I think anybody gave a shit about.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that. That game.
Kennedys were on there.
Yeah.
That game.
They have a Spotify playlist
for both of them.
Yeah, they do. That game had a lot of good songs, but I don't think, like, was that song like a song anywhere except that game? You know what I mean?
What, Superman?
Yeah.
I mean, to us ska kids, absolutely.
Ska kids, yeah.
I mean, let's not include, because that'll skew the average.
I think
if all of the ska listeners.
I'm pretty sure later on they also had another Goldfinger track in one of the Tony Hawk games. Which track that is, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
No.
But no, what was that one? There's that really good bass song that's in Tony Hawk 2, I think. Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up because the Spotify playlist only has five songs on it. That can't be right.
No, the Spotify playlist that they released like last week or the week before has like the full soundtrack on it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I thought it was.
That's what I thought.
If you're looking things up, you should also look up Superman by Goldfinger, the Quarantine video that they came out with like 2 months ago.
That's true.
Because that's a thing.
Are you talking about Cyclone by the Dub Pistols? Or
no, but Bring the Noise by Public Enemy is in Tony Hawk 2. Like, I don't know.
You know what's funny is the songs in the second game versus the songs in the first game. The second was way more kind of popular licensed stuff. Like you mentioned, there's Public Enemy and Anthrax, Papa Roach, Rage Against the Machine, Naughty by Nature. That's
Guerrilla Radio. Was
Power Man 5000.
First game.
That was good times.
That's all the news I have that I think anybody cares about. My last news. I was just looking at it here for a second. I don't think anybody gives a shit about this. My last news thing is it's a video that just came out that's talking about how people reverse engineered a mini game in Wind Waker, and I don't think anybody cares about that.
Hey, no, I'm actually kind of interested. Tell me about this. What mini game?
It's it's called Kersploosh or whatever. It's like Battleship.
Yeah.
But
that's right. I remember. Yeah, I remember playing that.
Yeah, and it's really infamous in the speedrunning community because it like it's the thing in that game that will end a run. Like it takes like 2 hours to get to that game, to get to that mini game, and then if you like you're not optimal, which was random-ish on that mini game, it's like, well, I might as well just start over.
Huh.
And so I guess a bunch of people like sat down and reverse engineered how that fucking game works so you can optimally do it and just keep going. Which I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
But hey, Sam, what do you think about speedrunning?
I mean, speedrunning's fun sometimes, depending on like certain games to watch. Like I've always enjoyed trying to watch some of those like speed races done quick or whatever. As long as they're like under an hour. Like I could never watch a game that's like, oh yeah, this game it's like a 6-hour run. And I'm like, I don't even know why you'd want to play that, let alone like sit
that's
there
just
and
a game. You're just playing a game at that point. Hey, Sonic, what do you think about speedrunning? I like to move quickly. That's his catchphrase, right?
Yeah, that's not copyrighted. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like at some point, like, is there diminishing returns? Now, obviously, something like that, like figuring out that mini game, like, you know, not only saves time, but then also saves people from the frustration of basically throwing away hours, you know, if you know, things go bad. But you know, some of the stuff where it's like, you know, previously we thought it was all RNG. Turns out it's not RNG. If you stand in this corner, it has a like defined path that'll always trigger in this one way. Like some of that stuff's ridiculous, especially like what is it? Like last year, didn't somebody come up with a way to save like 2 frames in the original Mario Brothers game? Like they came up with some way. It's like you can't even measure that game by seconds anymore. It's by the amount of frames that like the game takes to complete. And like somebody figured out how to shave like 2 frames off of it.
That one was super interesting because it wasn't so much that it was discovered. It was that for the longest time, like they had run a bot through it, and the bot could do the route.
Interesting.
And they were convinced for fucking forever that a human being could not do that route, and then somebody pulled it off. And it was like it was literally like a 2-frame save, and they got the world record by like 1/10 of a second or something.
Yeah, that's the same thing that happened with Super Mario World. Is like there was a what do they call them, taskbot or whatever. There was a taskbot that basically like it was something where you basically despawn sprites and spawn sprites on the same thing. And if you did it like Yoshi ate something on the correct right frame, it would just automatically skip you to the end credits.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, that's just something, you know, that's never going to be something a human can pull off because of the precise timing and stuff. And it took like less than a year for a human to actually like make it happen in real life once they discovered it. And that then makes that speed run like under a minute because you just go to the first level and like basically like have Yoshi eat one thing and poop it out and throw something else or whatever up into the air, and it has to be the correct right frame for Yoshi to eat an apple, and then all of a sudden it just goes black and then to that like end screen, which is ridiculous. It's
really funny. Yeah, that's everything I have for news. You said you had some stuff, Dally?
I was looking at the NPDs. So first of all, there's not a lot of other news right now. A lot of folks are waiting to release shit because guess what? Typically, this week is the last like pre-E3 hype week. You know, next week is that last week of May usually begins the pre-E3 hype. We get a lot of announcements happening. We'll probably get the next Call of Duty in the next week or so.
They did announce the name of it.
No, that leaked.
Oh, it leaked.
Yeah.
They did not. They did not announce that the name was Call of Duty Cold War.
Call of Duty Black Ops
Cold War. They did not announce that.
For a while.
That is not confirmed.
No, they did not. We don't know anything about that. No. So you're likely to hear that in the next couple weeks here. We should probably do a E3 hype train episode where we do predictions because the PlayStation stuff is probably at the beginning of June, right? Jeff Grubb said the 4th. It's looking more like the 2nd, potentially. Xbox has their thing usually that Sunday, but maybe that Monday now they might drop it. So you might be seeing some stuff from them. And then Square Enix is going to be, they'll be debuting games and stuff at these new console launches. That's why it's been really quiet. So we might have to do our next episode to be a pure video game prediction show. But so yeah, none of that stuff. You're not hearing any new game announcements. You are hearing how absolutely insane and crazy the gaming industry was in April. So we had a really good March, right?
Yep.
March was up over the year before, thanks to Animal Crossing.
I wonder what happened where everybody all of a sudden is like in
No
their
idea.
houses buying video games. And
Strange, very strange. But yeah, so it's the best April to date. So NPD tracked this. It's in the US, it's the best April to date. I'm looking at the gamesindustry.biz article right now, based off the NPD's numbers. So 163% higher than last April. So more than doubled year over year, right? Last April, I think Mortal Kombat 11 came out. So this is bigger than Mortal Kombat 11. The biggest game, of course, was Final Fantasy as a big release, just massive. The biggest launch for a Final Fantasy game in the US, apparently, for the series, which is pretty hefty. Obviously, Modern Warfare continues to be, it was number 2 this month, so it continues to be the top game over the last 12 months. And then Animal Crossing, is now the top number 2 game so far this year, and it's very close to being the top. I think they said the top game for the Switch in the US already. Pretty insane. And they said the main driver has been Nintendo with the Switch, no doubt. And the Animal Crossing effect, people kept buying it. I think the number came out that let me see here. The Animal Crossing, shoot, I can't find it anywhere. Anyways, there's it sold another like 4.5 or 3.5 million copies digitally in April.
It's at like 38 million or something like that.
I don't know. It's something. It's the number 1 selling Switch game of all time already. Nintendo, I think. Let's see some more than the quick Nintendo stuff. The console topped both the unit sales and dollar rankings in the U.S. last month. Year-to-date dollar sales of the Switch are the highest for any platform in U.S. history. So that's dollar sales. So that's console dollar sales, right? So what you could buy the Switch for $299, based on
right.
And you couldn't freaking find them anywhere, which is insane to me. You couldn't find the Switch in any store, yet they must have still been selling them because it's the highest numbers ever in any month for any platform in history, which is that's absolutely insane when you think about it. So that's really good for at least year-to-date dollar sales. That's pretty insane 4 months into a year. But yeah, Sony, Microsoft did really well. I mean, everybody was gaming. Everybody was freaking gaming. Year-to-date is up 12% compared to this point last year. Who needs new consoles? Am I right, guys? We're making money hand over fist. But it was sort of like there was nothing going on, so everybody was playing games because everybody ran through their Netflix queue. And now, which, by the way, is still stupid that Nintendo has not put Netflix on the Switch.
I keep getting emails from Netflix being like, "Hey, you wanna come back?" I'm like, Netflix, no Netflix, I don't.
So they announced today, I think, or yesterday, that they're going to be getting rid of old accounts that haven't been on in like the last year or something. So they're going to be just starting to wipe out old accounts. So if there's any streaming data for some reason that you want to keep, you'll resubscribe. But the only data I think would be likes and dislikes.
Which
they're deleting old accounts, which is whatever.
You know what I did? What I did with the last time I subscribed to Netflix? I bought a month and I watched The Martian 13 times.
No, it's that movie is worth it. That movie's pretty awesome.
I could have just bought the movie.
Yeah, that is also true. Let's see here. Spending just across the board, spending was crazy. Final Fantasy VII, again, is the number 1 game this month, followed by Call of Duty, Animal Crossing, NBA 2K, Grand Theft Auto 5, Resident Evil 3 snuck in there.
Which is surprising to me. Because it seems like everybody's real lukewarm on that game.
Yep. Now here's an interesting one. I thought actually this was pretty interesting. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered jumped from number 20 last week to number 7 this week, or 7 this month, because the game is now. It wasn't on the Xbox One last month. It was only on the PS4, so it was only tracking single console sales. This month it's on the Xbox One and PC. So that jumped that game up to number 7. So yeah, just crazy numbers. Just one of the weirdest months in history sales wise. Absolutely great for every company out there. I don't think there's anybody upset about making money. Now, will this wear off? What are the effects going forward? Who knows? We could potentially have a lot of long tails on this, as a lot of people bought consoles and they're going to be buying some of the older games. That could last through summer, so it may be a good bump for the next 2-3 months. But man, this is almost time you need some type of big gaming event to get people continue that momentum. But who knows?
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if there was something, say, end of June?
Yeah, interesting.
Well, there's no big ones, but how about 30 or so small ones?
Yes, that's a good idea. I like that. 30. It's E3 season.
God, it's gonna be fucking. How many? Do you think there's gonna be a single title that shows up on every event?
You'll have Valhalla has already shown up in like 3 or 4
I was gonna say it's gonna be an Ubisoft title if it is one.
Yeah.
Just Dance.
It'll show up on every event but their own.
There you go. Yeah, you already saw this. Next.
What's that Skull and Bones game that's coming?
God,
that may or may not ever come out.
That quote unquote coming.
Yes.
Well, hey, that roller derby game.
Don't forget that game is still.
That roller derby game is an actual like closed alpha right now, right? Or closed beta or something like that.
To be out already. That Gods and Monsters. Who knows which games are? You can't tell with Ubisoft right now because they have games that just kind of dangle out there for years, and then they let them disappear. So,
yeah, Beyond Good and Evil 2, right? Like, can't wait to play that like any day soon.
That fucking game. I'm gonna die of old age before that game comes out. They're gonna keep hitting me with like, oh yeah, no, it's coming. Check this out.
That's the new not Shadow. Is it Shadow of the Colossus? What was the not Shadow of the Colossus?
The
what
third
was the other one?
Coach, whatever the third game. Yeah, the third.
Yeah, that's the new one of those. Like that. We've talked about it for 2 full console generations before it actually happens.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
That game, like, I don't even think that joke works because like they said, oh, we're doing a remake. Everybody was asking for it for fucking forever. They finally said we're doing a remake, and then it was like what, 3 years and it came out. Yeah,
with the Final Fantasy one, at least they were like kind of honest about like, all right, we're actually working on the remake now. Where they just were the people that cock teased every 5 days when they were just like, hey, guess what's coming to the PlayStation 4? You're right, Final Fantasy VII. Here's the trailer. Ooh, gotcha, suckers, real good. It's just the PC port.
It's Final Fantasy VII, Advent Children.
Yeah, we're here to make another Final Fantasy VII thing. This time it's a PS2 game called Dirge of Cerberus.
So how long do you think this? I'm all in for Dirge of Cerberus remake. How long do you think before we get that next Final Fantasy VII chapter?
Oh my god, we're in what, 2021, 2025?
You think 2025?
Yeah.
No, I don't think we'll probably. I guarantee you they're working on it now. With as big as this game was, they're gonna. I have a feeling that'll be a lot quicker.
Like going into Final Fantasy VII Remake, if you would have asked me a year ago how fast a game would have come out, I would have said quicker because ideally they would have had the world map done, right? But with the way Final Fantasy VII Remake ends, it's like, I don't think there's going to be a world map, dog. Like, they're going to have to make essentially a new game every single time for a part of this now.
I can't wait to play it one day. What I think is actually going to happen, I think it's 3 years away. At most, actually. I would not be surprised if it's 2 years or less. Only because if they keep the same battle system, then that at least takes part of the development, the planning away, and they can focus more on the narrative and on the sets and all that kind of stuff. But
but Square can't leave well enough alone.
You're right.
They have to change the combat system because even Final Fantasy 13, those 3 games, didn't they all kind of like vaguely have different combat systems and stuff?
True. You're right. I'm way off. Who knows then? Who knows? Maybe it'll be PlayStation 6.
To be fair, though, those games came out at about 2.5 year clips, though, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, it's about 2 year. Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right-ish.
I mean, not that I played anything than the first 20 minutes of the first one, but
I own all those games, and I've only ever played the first one, and I've never beaten it. And every year or so, I'm like, I should finally play and beat Final Fantasy 13. And every time I do, I get decently far in, I quit, and the next time I do it, I don't remember any of it except for the fact that I got to walk in a straight line.
I'll just invest in a
so it
Louis
was-
Vuitton bag or whatever they were cross promoting with that Lightning character.
It was about every. Yeah, you're right. It was about every 2 years. About every 2 years apart. So every other year. So you could potentially see the game pop up 2, maybe 3 years from now. I think the next couple of years. I don't think they want to. Again, I don't think they want to wait too long.
You think like 2022?
I think.
What do you think the good name of Final Fantasy VII will get out of people's minds if they wait too long?
Well, no, I think. I mean, it's coming for the next console, right? So they're relearning some of the. Aren't they using Unreal Engine now? So who knows? They might switch to a new engine system or battle system later on. But I think right now, I would tentatively say 3 years from today. Right? So you're looking at March 2023. That's what I think, or April 2023. That's my guess.
I guess I could see that.
I think that'll be the second half. This won't be a 3-part thing. It'll just be, here's the second half. We gave you guys some extra stuff in the first half. We're taking stuff away in the second half from the main game, and you're all set. But who knows? Whatever. Anyways, Good job to Final Fantasy VII being the top launch ever for Final Fantasy.
We're very proud of you.
You did it. Dad's proud.
Good job, Cloud.
Anything else?
No.
Sam, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, not unless have you guys? I unfortunately did not hear the last 2 shows. Did you guys at all talk about the weird Nintendo leaks that are happening?
No.
We talked about the Nintendo lawsuits that keep happening, but not the leaks.
Yeah. Well, supposedly, and I'm not, 100% on this, nor do I have something in front of me here. But
as we hear a book opening, like papers ruffling.
If I remember correctly, essentially a company that Nintendo had contracted out to do some work had a server that had a bunch of Nintendo sort of like IP and source code just sitting on it. So recently, I guess like the source code for the Wii and GameCube leaked out. I believe also the Game Boy Advance, and then with that, some games. So a couple of the Pokemon games, both Gen 1 and Gen 3, I guess the entire source codes for those games are online now. And, there's some speculation of now that they now have the source code of these consoles, will like emulators be using it? The Dolphin emulator team has basically come out and said absolutely not, because the only way that they legally get away with this stuff is because they're like closed room backwards engineering it. As opposed to actually using any lines of Nintendo's code. Because if you use Nintendo's code, then you're using their copyright. They can come after you and shut you down.
Sure.
So they won't be doing anything like that now. If there's some other nefarious group that maybe makes something and pushes it online and never updates it or something like that, there's a possibility. And then, of course, you'll have people that are going to be looking at these the source codes for these Pokemon games and probably make more of these like ROM hacks that you see, like what is it, Pokemon Glazed and like Pokemon Nuclear, I think is one of them.
Yeah, that one was good.
So you'll probably see more stuff like that, just because now people just have the raw code that they can just edit from there and make stuff. And then not related, but kind of, I guess the entire source code for the original Xbox was leaked out. Supposedly that had leaked out before, but it had only really stayed around the homebrew community. Like they were very good about keeping it like to themselves, because obviously piracy gets widespread as soon as that stuff happens. So I guess there's been a project that somebody's been working on where they've been trying to like backwards engineer the original Xbox Live, because Xbox Live was pulled down, I want to say in 2009. Just because it was running on an old infrastructure, and who's playing I guess it was 2013, because it was when the Xbox One X was out, because who's using an original Xbox to play Xbox One or Xbox games online when you could just, the only ones that are like pretty much supported at this point is games that are on Xbox One X compatibility or backwards compatibility and stuff like that. But it seems like somebody is taking that original source code and kind of massaging it a little and like changing some of the calls, since I guess there's a lot of security checks on the original Xbox Live, rearranging that type of stuff and giving another server you can connect to, so you can use these sort of like games that were dependent on their online services. So there's been tunneling which if you're not sure what that is, tunneling was when you take like a LAN game, so like a Halo or like a Project Gotham Racing that had the capability of LANing different consoles together, and then allowing them to basically LAN together over the internet. But by doing that, you weren't able to have voice chat. You missed out on some like DLC features. And then specifically, one thing that was mentioned was Project Gotham 3 has like that Kudo system that just doesn't work in LAN. So you couldn't get like certain tracks, you can get certain cars or whatever to play unless you're using these online things. So then that will open this type of stuff up. So then, you can play the original Halo 2 or Halo 3 with people online and use voice chat and actually communicate. They'll probably do it for free and there won't be any service charge or anything like that. And Microsoft will probably just let it happen because they don't have to support it.
Yeah.
It's not anything they need to go after. In fact, it's almost more bad press if you were to go after and shut it down, because why stop people from playing Halo 2 if 30 odd people a night want to go play Halo 2 against each other?
Let them play.
Let them play.
Let the kids play, Microsoft. Let me get my big old Duke controller out and start swinging it around.
God, I want one of those.
Speaking of big old controllers, the Hori, I like that splitch.
I don't think you're allowed to say that word, Dally.
That split switch, the Pad Pro thing, that big giant one, is on sale right now for $50, $49. That would be your Switch, dude.
Yeah, give me.
Yep.
Give it to me
one day.
Hey, something fucked up that I didn't mention? What's up with like the
Jeff
feature?
Grubb? Yeah.
What's up with the featured streamer on Twitch, like being sponsored by an alcohol?
Really?
Yeah, his streams like he's like the promoted stream, but it's age gated, and it's just like brought to you by Miller Lite.
Wow,
like
sweet.
That's a little fucked up, isn't it?
The streamer of beers.
The streamer of beers. The beers of
who's this website for? Well,
interesting.
Children, but we're brought to you by beer. So
I have a big Papa John's ad for mine everywhere. All right. Well, with that, I think we're kind of done.
Yeah,
guys, we tagged it in an hour here on a Friday night. My nose is starting to drip, which means I probably got it. I hate the joke. I'm just totally joking. But nose is starting to drip because I've been outside all day. And I'm not wearing socks. And, so I'm going to go blow my nose a little bit. And also drinking and not sleeping well. That's good news. You don't want to hear my health issues, me catching a dumb cold. We'll see you all in the next episode. You can find me at Dolly Demofsky. You can find that guy right there at Scratty Bones. And that dude way across over there, the guy looks like Mr. Rossetti. He just hides. Don't worry about looking for him. But that's Sam. So thanks, Sam Dixon.
Thank you.
At Sam Dixon 79. That's it. We'll see you all in the next episode of The SideQuest. We love you. Peace, everybody. Bye-bye.